Step into the DeLorean, fire up the flux capacitor, and head back in time. Pennsylvania Rock Show Flashback. Pennsylvania Rock.
What's up, everyone? You are tuned in to the Pennsylvania Rock Show Flashback. With me tonight is Amy from Eden on Fire. Amy, I forgot to ask you, and I know, but what year is the first track that we're going to talk about from?
2023. I have to think about it for a minute. Yeah, it was 2023 we released that.
And if I remember correctly, the album is Unresolved?
Yes, it was re-released then on the album, and that was November of 2024. But it was released as a single first in 2023.
Okay. Is there a difference between the single and the album version?
It was just remastered, so it's really the same song, same mix, just remastered to fit the album volumes.
The reason I ask is because I have the album version with me.
Okay, yeah, no, it's exactly the same other than a remaster. So
where was the album recorded at?
So we recorded the album at BFE Studios here outside of Erie. It's in like Girard, Pennsylvania area. A real good friend of ours, Brian Goloski, is the engineer. He actually mixed Fallen for us as well. So he did everything. It did when we sent out the album, we did send out to a new person who then remastered it. But yeah, Brian actually mixed that original Fallen.
The lineup was different on that song than the one that we're going to play later, correct?
Yes, so that was our original lineup, the OGs. It was myself, Scott Haggerty on bass, who is still with us, Rick Knapp on guitar, and Michael Calabrese on drums. Now those two, Mike and Rick, have left. They've been gone for a couple years now, and we have a new lineup.
Which we'll talk about in a little bit.
Okay.
Is there anything about the recording process of the album that maybe was unique that you want to mention?
So this was my first time ever recording a full album. Back in the day when I used to do this a long time ago, we were kind of DIYing it ourselves. So this was a new experience. I had been in studios before, a lot of years ago, but this is the first experience I've had in a long time, and it was the first time ever doing an album. And what really shocked me is, like, when I had been in official studios, I was in RPM studios back in Philadelphia back in the day. It was about what you could afford, and we would walk in and, down and dirty, get the song done, have it mixed while you're sitting there, and walk out with the cassette tape. So this was a total new experience for us because Brian not only tracked us, but he helped sort of engineer the tunes. He helped produce them. So like what was unique for me is I would spend an entire day laying down vocals for one song, because we would just go in and record my first take, and then my second take, and then my third, sometimes 5 or 6 takes of the same part. And then I'd still have to go to do the backup. So it was great. And then we would just sort of layer them and kind of cookie cutter them together. And it was really cool.
So is it hard to perform? I've always wondered this, because with technology the way it is now, you mentioned cookie cuttering it together.
Yeah.
Is it hard to perform it like it is on the album when it's done that way?
So, I mean, there's a couple of schools of thoughts on that, you should sound just like your album when you're out playing. We kind of take a different approach. We kind of do all the things that we want to do in the studio, that in a perfect world, if we had a lot of backup singers and a lot of other, guitar players and instruments on stage, that would happen live, but we don't. So I don't think so for us. Fallen still, I play piano through the entire song with strings layered underneath that. So when we play it live, that is what you hear. The difference is you don't have all the layers of backup vocals, though our drummer now that we have currently is doing some of the backups. So we're getting a little bit more of that, but you don't obviously have the other female voice doing the backups as they were on the album.
Okay, so we're going to take a moment. We're going to listen to Fallen, and we'll be right back. Welcome back to Pennsylvania Rock Show Flashback. This is actually episode number 11. Relatively new show, but we're flashing back from the Pennsylvania Rock Show, which is on like episode 822 at this point. So we're gonna catch 1,000 quickly between the two of them. But if you look at all my podcasts, we passed 1,000 a long time ago. But all right, so that was Fallen, and you have a brand new track that we are getting to play first, right?
Yeah, this will be a world premiere. Congratulations. You
Thank
can
you.
select.
I love when that happens.
Yes. Go ahead.
I was just going to say, I did listen to it, and it's kind of different than what I've heard from you guys.
Yeah.
Yeah, I like it. I think your vocals are a little, I don't want to say grungy, but a little more gritty.
Yeah.
Is that, yeah.
Yeah, that song came from anger, and you can probably hear that in the way that we did it. Yeah, it was really exciting. It's called Queen Bee. It was written a while ago. We were performing it for the last several years, but it has changed a little bit. We did kind of revamp it. It's more true to how I originally wrote it. I actually wrote the guitar riff on that. So I'm not a phenomenal guitar player. You can see I have a few back here, but I'm learning. And one night I was just really, really mad. And I picked up actually an acoustic guitar was all I had at the time. And I wrote that riff, and it just, the words came and the whole song kind of came together. I brought it to the band. It got revamped a little bit. A couple of things I had done in the original got taken out, but then we recently put them back. So, yeah, it's a little bit grittier. It's a little bit angrier than some of our other stuff, but it sort of is a nice segue from Villain, because Villain was sort of born from the same.
I was going to ask that question, because Villain, I think I know what Villain's about, but I'm not going to say it on the air.
Yeah. Yeah.
So same figure for both songs?
Yeah. So basically the same thing. It sort of started out being about somebody that really upset me. But then it sort of became an anthem for just like people checking themselves on, like, I don't even know how to explain it, but there's always those gatekeepers, and we're running into them everywhere. Somebody who wants to control whatever scene or whatever situation. And it's sort of a self-check for me now that I don't ever want to be like that. So it's kind of like the song came from anger, it was about a particular issue, but it really became more global to me after that.
Okay. So tell me a different lineup on this one. So now you can talk about your current band.
So our current lineup is still myself. I play keys and vocals. And then we have Scott Haggerty still on bass. And then Steven Starvaggi joined us about a year ago, a little over a year ago now. It was December of 2024. And he's our drummer. And Todd Sandberg most recently joined the band, and this is his guitar work on this song. So really excited. We finally have, I think, probably the most solid lineup we've ever had. And we all get along fabulously, and it shows in the music. We're writing again. I'm very excited about that. So.
As far as writing and recording, how is this one different than Fallen in that album?
So when I wrote Fallen and a good bit of the material on the Unresolved album, prior to ever even having band members, it was during the pandemic. I sat down at my piano and used MIDI and cranked out a bunch of the tunes. Fallen, Parasite, Brigade, Listen to Me. Those were all like songs that I had preliminarily written, and then brought them to the band once we had the lineup, and we kind of massaged them and changed them and made them a little bit more metal friendly. Some of those other songs too, then we did write as a band, but a lot of it was me at the piano, bringing that to the band and then changing it. Even Love Bomber, one song that has absolutely no keyboards in it whatsoever on the recording or live, I wrote on piano and I brought it to the band and I went, okay, so let's take this song and make it metal. And they're like, okay. And I'm like, yeah, I don't want any keyboards in it. They're like, wait, what? So we kind of had to, work with my chord progressions and my vocal lines, and we wrote the song sort of around it. So Queen Bee started out very different. Like I said, I was really angry one night. I sat down with the acoustic guitar and started riffing, and I came up with this riff, and I came up with the entire song actually in one sitting, brought it to our band, and then it got, again, changed a little bit. The guitar work got a little more sophisticated than what I had really originally come up with, but not a whole lot. It really is sort of true to what exactly I was doing, those about a couple of years ago. So I'm kind of proud of this one because I feel like it expanded my writing capabilities at that point. So now I'm doing more guitar work in terms of writing. So I think you're going to see an evolution of our sound. Not too much. We want to stay true to ourselves. I still am writing things on piano as well. But I think we kind of just run the gamut.
Now, did you record it at the same place?
So yes, we did do all the tracking at BFE Studios here locally with our great friend Brian Glasky. He's just excellent. He really helped produce it as well. However, we had this really cool thing happen. One day I got a message on social media from David Dominicus out of LA asking if we would consider sending him our work in the future. And I was like taken back. David has done Guns N' Roses. He's done, all sorts of bands. Weezer, Papa Roach. He's a multi-platinum producer and engineer. So at first I was like, oh, this isn't real. This is somebody scamming me. But it really was him. And so we decided to work with him on this song. So this is by far our most professional release to date. I think you're going to hear the difference in the sound quality in terms of it's a big sound, it's a produced sound. So I was very excited about that.
And before we go and listen to Queen Bee, you have a few things you want to mention so the listeners and viewers can go check them out. And I'll let you do that.
All right. Yeah, we've got so much going on. It feels like right now, everything's sort of exploding for us. We are not only releasing Queen Bee, will be released formally on the 24th of April here, but we're also in line for some International Singer-Songwriter Awards, the ISSA. We're really excited about that. It's a self-nomination process, but then you have to get accepted. So of course, when I signed us up for it, I just kind of went through and was like, check mark, because figuring we'll get into a couple categories. Well, we got into all of them, which was insane for me. But so we are up for Best Female Vocalist of the Year, Best Female Rising Star, Best Female Songwriter of the Year, Best Female Emerging Artist of the Year, Best Musician of the Year, and then Band of the Year and Band Single of the Year for our song Villain. So we're really excited about that. So check it out on our social media. And right now it's until the end of April. You can go in daily and throw your support behind us, vote for us. And that will get us to the next level where we'll actually be then judged by a panel of judges in the industry. And then if we were to win a gold, we'll be referred for a Grammy. So that's like super exciting. So anybody who wants to support us, we really appreciate you.
And what's the voting process? They have to go to the ISSA.
You can go to the ISSA's website, or you can just find it on, I'm sharing it pretty much daily everywhere on social media. And it's just a check off. You don't even have to sign up. It tracks your browser, so you can't vote more than one per day, but you don't even have to give an email address or anything like that. You just go in and check boxes. So it's a few pages because there's a lot of people in a lot of different categories, but it doesn't cost you anything. Probably take you about 30 seconds to get through all of it.
Very cool. Do you have any shows you want to mention?
We're a little lighter this year on shows. We're trying to keep it a little light so we can do more writing in the studio because we're back to doing that. But we do have a show coming up on May 23rd here locally in Erie at the Big Bar. We're going to be opening up for a Metallica tribute band called Battery. And then we have a show now that just got added in July 9th, which is also my birthday. So I'm excited about that. Here up in the Waterford area at Bison Beer, it's a biker night. So we're kind of excited to do that because our music goes over well in that group of people. And then we have some things coming in August. We're in a couple of festivals, one down your way, and possibly another show at the end of August. And then it keeps going. I think we have something once per month after that for a bit. So it might get busier, but we are trying to keep it a little light so we can get back to writing.
The one down my way is the band jam, correct?
It is the band jam, yes. And as far as we should be there on the Friday night of the band jam. I don't have lineups or anything like that, but that's probably where we'll be.
So the band jam is a sponsor of Build a Scene, and so are the Noble Hops, who were on last episode, and Utah as a whole. And one other sponsor I want to mention real quick is Mono. They provided this cool microphone that I'm using. It's wireless, XLR, USB. Go to mono.com/build-a-scene. If you spend $35 or more, get a 10% discount by using that address. But it's spelled MAONO.com. All right, with that out of the way, see how that went in there like naturally?
Yeah.
So I want to thank you for hanging out with me this evening.
Oh, thank you.
And we're going to go ahead and listen to Queen Bee. And then you guys should come back next week, Monday for the Pennsylvania Rock Show, and Tuesday for the Flashback episode. I don't currently know who's going to be on the next Flashback episode, so we're recording a few weeks ahead of time. It might be Jake from Parks and Company. It might not. We're going to go with that. Have you met Jake at the band jam?
I have not. No, not yet.
So he's at one of the veteran booths. And then he used to be in the band Tarach and Sky.
Okay.
Who are a band jam alumni. I was trying to think of the word I wanted to use. But yeah, so hopefully it's going to be Jake, maybe somebody else. Just keep your ears peeled and your eyes open, and we'll see you the next time. Thanks again, Amy.
Hey, thank you. Rock on, my friends.